Welcome to the Beyond the Vines podcast, where I interview local business owners in Sonoma County to highlight small business and grow our community. I'm your host, Amy Ehlers, a mom, realtor, and Sonoma County native, and I'm excited to connect you to some amazing people in this beautiful area that we call home. Welcome back to the Beyond the Vines podcast. Thank you again for listening. I just want to remind everybody I do have a weekly real estate newsletter. It doesn't just focus on real estate. It's got community events and also market updates and homeowner information. It's a really helpful weekly newsletter. So if you're interested in receiving that, just let me know and I'll get that out to you. I am really excited about this episode. It's going to give me a lot of clout with my nephew because I have like a local preschool celebrity in today. I have Alison Hill. She is the owner and director of Happy Hearts Preschool, located on the Sonoma Marin Fairgrounds in Petaluma. Happy Hearts is a play-based, nature-inspired preschool. This school has recently celebrated 13 years in business. I cannot believe it's been that long. And won the Petaluma People's Choice Award for Best Childcare for the third year in a row. So with that, I welcome Alison. Thanks, Alison.
Hey.
I'm so happy to have you on. Your students are probably going to watch this and just be so excited. I hope my nephew does. He's going to watch it. I'm so cool that I'm even here with you right now in his eyes.
They might be like, why are they talking? Like, where's the toys?
Where's the toys? This is the most boring episode ever. That is so awesome. Well, welcome.
Thanks.
So can you tell us a little bit about your journey in founding Happy Hearts and what made you start this?
Yeah, 13 years. Yeah,
that's incredible.
I was teaching at another preschool. It was kind of a corporate-y kind of preschool, and and then I got pregnant and I kind of was like, I don't know if this is the school I'd send her to. And so I just kind of was like, what if I made a preschool the exact one I'd want her to go to?
I love that.
Crawl in mud and, shout out to Izzy. That's who I'm talking about. My 13-year-old. So I made it in my house. First, it was like a back bedroom, and I had like 6 kids. And then I converted the garage, and I had like 12 kids. And then, years went by, and it was just like a constant wait list. And I was like, what if we found another space?
Amazing.
Yeah. And so we found the fairgrounds. My mom actually helped me find the spot. It's like an old dormitory where the 4-Hers used to sleep like during the fair.
Wow.
Yeah. So there's like really like old showers that we've converted into arts and crafts storage and stuff like that. And so we moved to the fairgrounds. I had to get like a new license and we started taking up more space on the fairgrounds, so we expanded there.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've kind of just like organically grown more and more over the years, and
That's amazing. And I love the way that you thought about it. Like, what kind of school would I as a parent want my child to be at? And that's what you created.
Yes. Yeah.
So
cool. And then like even when kids were coming to my school, even back in the day, what would I want the teachers to tell me? I would want them to tell me about their day. Because if you ask a kid about their day, they're like, I don't know, I played.
Yeah.
Someone pushed me.
Yeah.
They kind of either remember like something that hurt their feelings or just like, I don't know what I did. And I just made it my whole like goal to just tell these parents like what I was doing all the time and just have like this magical curriculum that I tried to like create. And that we've kind of always done that. It's gone that far, we still do the same. I kind of try to keep that home feeling.
Great.
Because I was at my home for 5 years. And so now, even though we're this huge center with like 60 kids every day, I really just try to make them all feel like they're like loved and they're not just like a number. Like we're all in it. Like all the teachers, we're just all in it for all the right reasons, which is to raise and nurture this generation.
That is so cool. That is, and I think from a parent perspective, having that insight as to what they're doing and knowing that they're in such good hands, it's such a relief to people. That's why you have a wait list.
Yeah. So we just, it's really about the connection with the kids and the families, right? So, we want to know if they didn't sleep well or like, dad's out of town. All that stuff affects kids at school.
Yes.
And so if they're willing, they don't have to share everything going on at home, but, if there's things going on, they can be different at school and they might need a little extra love and, something, So that's, I feel pretty lucky because I'm the director, so I get to like be extra and I get to go find those kids and they get to come have special time in my office or like help me with a job. And
I love that.
Sometimes they just really need like some one-on-one cool hangout.
Yeah.
The office isn't bad.
Yeah. See, I told you you're a celebrity in this town with the kids. With everybody, but with the kids for sure.
Only people under 5.
Only people under 5.
I did offer to
I think you're very
chaperone
cool.
my daughter's dance, and
was that a no or a yes?
That's a pass. She does not, for some reason, doesn't want me to be there. I
can't understand it. No, that makes no sense.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So what sets Happy Hearts Preschool apart from other childhood education centers, and what's your unique approach?
Yeah, well, I mean, just in general, talking about early childhood education and preschools, they're all working extremely hard.
Mm-hmm.
Like anyone that is a preschool teacher or just teacher in general, an educator, if you got through the pandemic and you're still teaching, like shout out to everyone. And everyone that's running a school, shout out to all the directors in town, like everyone's trying and working really hard.
Yeah.
And everyone is really tired, but they're doing it because they love it. And, I think really what makes my school special is that we're just this huge team. So we are, even though I'm like the director and I'm like the leader, like we're just all in it together. So I have 10 women, and we're constantly having planning meetings and curriculum days and just like doing all these special things where we're just together. And that's really important for keeping the morale up and for just loving what we're doing and having the time to do it. So you have great curriculum if you have time to plan it.
Right.
And back in the day, like even for myself, like sometimes there wasn't that time and you're kind of trying to do it when someone's like taking a nap, and, really making that time for the teachers to sit together in a room and just come up with ideas. My teachers are like so creative. They just have these amazing ideas, and I get to walk through the rooms and get to see it all happen.
Wow. And
then they go for like my crazy ideas, like throwing an Earth Day festival. I also have wild ideas. Yeah, we're just all about, focusing on the whole child.
Right.
Sometimes we'll get kids that like maybe weren't the right fit at another school because, they just maybe learn a different way.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think one big thing that stands out, for our school is the amount of time we're outside.
I love that.
So, like, when I'm doing a tour, I tell families, like, right away, first of all, everyone gets really messy here, and we don't say, no, don't jump in that puddle. We're like, let's see what happens.
Right. I love that.
Everyone has, like, massive amounts of clothes in their cubby, and we just change them when we need to. But, we go outside no matter the weather. So if kids, like, when it's snowing, can put on their snowsuits and go outside, like, we can do it in the rain.
Right. We don't have it that rough in Petaluma.
I know, it's like, we're like, we'd prefer 70s all the time. But so we're putting on those rain suits every day in the
Amazing.
And they're learning how to do it. And we're all going out in the rain, and we're just experiencing what the world is like in the rain.
I love that you say too, like they're doing it on their own, like putting on it's always so important at that age, I feel like, to really build those skills and build their self-confidence. Like you can button your jacket,
Yes.
It's so cool.
So
that's a skill in itself.
It's a lot of self-help skills, a lot of social, emotional. I mean, it's not just about like, can you write your name by the time you go to kindergarten,
right.
And so that's what's really important to us.
I love that.
Yes.
I think also your staff, because you are recognizing what it feels like to be creating that curriculum and providing like the best environment to do that, they probably feel so valued by you, which in turn is displayed in the way they are in the school and the way they teach. Yeah.
So thank you. And so I just really love my teachers. I think they're just like the most amazing women. But what I try to say is, even for parents when they're going for a tour and they're like going to go to other schools, I try to say, like, talk to the teachers, like ask them how long they've been there.
Right.
Like, are they having a good time? Like, you can feel the energy when you come into a school. And my job is to care for them and give them as much love and attention that they need.
Yeah.
We call it like tapping out. Sometimes you just need to tap out.
I love that.
Sometimes you need an extra break. Sometimes you need to take a day off. And so I feel like it kind of starts at the top. So I take care of my teachers, and then they take care of the students. And if they're not happy and they don't have the self-care they need, then they are not going to be able to do their best.
Right.
So, so I just pride myself on trying to give my teachers as much love as they can. That's one of the perks of the job is being able to, maybe you take a day off early or you can get to all your kids' events because you can just,
I love that.
schedule a sub. Yeah.
That's so special. And that you prioritize that. It's amazing. Well, because you can relate because you're a parent too.
Yes. Yeah. We're all going through and it's all women. So I will shout out to Mr. John. He is my maintenance maker.
Ooh, Mr. John, shout out.
John. Yeah, he's really cool.
Yeah, that's amazing. So can you tell us, I know you're more play-based with your curriculum. Can you tell us more about that, what it means and why it's important?
Yeah, a lot of people don't necessarily understand what play-based means or like, oh, they're just playing all day? Is it just like a free-for-all? So we're tailoring our curriculum to expose the children to different things, but it's all through play. So they're learning constantly in different areas, but they're choosing what areas those are they're going to. So, maybe so right now we're talking about the rainforest. So they are painting on the paper to create the snake that's going to go on the wall the size of the snake that it is or something like that. So everything is sort of a project or if they're building their fine motor skills, they don't necessarily need to be holding a pencil and they don't need to be like using a worksheet. They could be drawing with chalk on the ground or like painting on a wall. So play-based just means but play-based is really like all the things that kids are doing constantly. So we're just giving them that time. So when they're participating in play and they're choosing their activities, whether inside or outside, we're not interrupting them. We're not telling them what to do. We're just setting up the environment for them to decide what they're going to choose to do.
How cool.
And we still have structured times of our day and follow our routine, but these special times so my teachers, we call ourselves play detectives, and we're not interrupting their play. We're doing a lot of observing. We're doing a lot of note-taking. We're like seeing what's happening, what language is being used.
Wow.
And then, problem solving when we need to.
Yeah.
But they're taking chances, and risky play is something that's real that kids need to do. What's going to happen when you stack those blocks 10 high? If it falls, what does that look like? Where should we stand? So there's just so many different ways for young children to learn, and play-based is probably the most important way.
Well, it's probably, I would think too, like the way that makes kids feel, I don't even know how to word this, the happiest when they're learning, because it's kind of what comes natural to them.
Absolutely. Yes. So, they naturally want to do it. And so sometimes that's when you see behavior problems is when children are not getting that time.
Good point. Yeah.
So, they need to be exposed to all the things. But what I tell parents is, they'll say, oh, I haven't seen any art come home. They're just not maybe choosing to do art. They're choosing to go do Legos or blocks or play make-believe. But then if we kind of want to see if that child wants to do art, maybe they love cars. And so now we're taping a marker to a car to see what happens when the car is driving. And they don't even realize that they're actually now they're actually starting to do pre-writing. There's little ways to incorporate what we're kind of trying to see if they can do without saying it's time to come sit down and, write your name.
Holy moly, you are so creative, and I can't imagine how you put this curriculum all together. Like, where do you get all of these ideas?
We sit around a lot. We do a lot of staff meetings, a lot of staff development days. And I have just such an amazing team of women.
That's so cool. That is so cool. So what advice would you give to parents, and you did give one piece already, who are trying to choose the right preschool? What are some key factors they should consider?
Absolutely.
Based on their child, yeah.
And that's a great question right now because a lot of people are doing tours and trying to decide what's the right fit. So first of all, there's people that even know me or are close to me or even in my family that maybe my school is not the right fit for them. So I think it's really first deciding what's important to your family. So for some families, it's how many hours the preschool is open. For some, it could be cost. For others, it might be the values align with theirs. So you kind of just have to decide first what your family wants and how your child is too, right? Because one child might really fit well in a preschool and then your second child might not be the same personality or demeanor.
Great point.
Yeah, and so when I'm doing tours and I'm showing them around, giving them the spiel, I'm really also saying, hey, these are great questions to ask at other schools. How much outside time are they getting? What is your approach to discipline? Something like a timeout is very outdated. That's not really, developmentally appropriate for a school. So, just kind of get them to ask these questions for us and for other schools, and then kind of decide what aligns with your school. So, how much outside time do they get? You can also ask about academics. So we're not like heavy academic school. So if that's a preschool that you want, that's a great question to ask. I feel like it's also, I tell parents all the time, you have to just get that, that feeling.
Yes.
Go around all the schools and see how it feels.
Yes.
And I always joke, sometimes I'll do a tour and everyone is just, the kids are just, they're jumping and skipping and playfully. And I said, okay, it's not always like this. Sometimes someone cries or problems are being solved.
Yeah,
or everyone needs
it's
an
magic
ice pack
all the time.
And I was like, okay, it's almost too magical right now.
Stop acting, children.
But they were really cute all the time. Yeah. Ice packs. You should ask how many ice packs.
Oh, yeah. How many ice packs do you go through?
Let me just talk about ice packs. This will be the part
Do you
that
have a favorite
kids,
brand?
my preschoolers like to hear. This is my shout out to ice packs. If I could get an ice pack.
Ooh, a donation?
Yeah. So we use a lot of ice packs for injuries, but also emotional injuries because we do a lot of problem solving. And you have to ask your friend, what do they need to feel better? And so in our freezer, we actually have 2 bins. One says physical injuries, one says emotional injuries. Because we were running out of ice packs. So we had to keep them well stocked, and it seems to solve a lot of problems. My friend wouldn't play with me, or they hurt me, or whatever. What do you need to feel better? I need an ice pack.
I need a Band-Aid.
Yeah.
I would get that one.
Well, we're trying to phase from the Band-Aids to ice packs because we're trying to reuse.
I was going to say you can't. But
the Band-Aids are real hot too.
I saw a store recently too that they have. I think it's a reusable Band-Aid. So I don't know if that would work with your little kids. Very cleanly. Well, I think it would be used in those moments where they don't really need one.
Okay. All right. Okay.
An emotional Band-Aid. Ooh, a Band-Aid sticker. Now we're talking.
The kids come home from my school. They're just
covered in Band-Aid stickers.
I like when they fall off and they say, I don't need this anymore.
Yeah, right? You're like, thanks. Can you find the garbage? We find those all over our house, actually.
Yes.
Shout out to all the children in my home.
Yep.
That is so cute that you have that, to have the emotional ice, the physical ice.
You got to be well prepared at all times.
You do.
Yes.
You do.
Yeah,
I love that that's the solution, whatever they need, So can you share a memorable success story or a moment from your time at Happy Hearts that really illustrates the impact of your work? I'm sure you see way too many.
There's so many special things about the school. Honestly, it just recently happened. It was our Earth Day festival. I love Earth Day. I love the earth. I love teaching kids about the earth. And so we threw our Earth Day festival this last Monday, and it's the biggest it's ever been. We rented more space from the fairgrounds. More people came, and it kind of was just all going on at the same time. And I kind of just stood there and I looked around, and I was amazed that this was our school because I couldn't believe how far it'd come.
Wow.
I get really sentimental in April because that's when I started the school, 13 years ago. So there's kind of just this moment I can't believe that this is all my school.
You did this.
Because I still can feel being in my little back bedroom with my baby and these 6 2-year-olds and just kind of figuring it out, and so I guess it's just very humbling to kind of always remember how far I've come, and
that's amazing.
It's just come so far. Sometimes I can't believe it. I'll forget.
That's so cool. You should keep a picture, maybe framed of the original 6.
Yeah. Well, I had a hand painted wooden sign that I made that I put on my house at the time, and I have it still on the wall.
I love that.
Of my school because it has all the handprints of the kids that were there in 2011. They're all in high school now.
Isn't that crazy? Do they ever come see the school?
Friended me on Instagram.
They probably want to hang out.
Yeah, so they do come. So it's really cool. A lot of my alumni come back. We have a summer camp for our older kids, and then the alumni help run the summer camp.
Cool.
Or they're in the summer camp if they're younger. And it's really cool it's just even my own daughter volunteering. It's just so cool to see them older.
Yeah.
Helping. And
Yeah.
or they'll need volunteer hours.
Yeah.
So any way we can get involved in the community. We have like St. Vincent's high schoolers come once a year and come work at our school.
Wow, that's so cool.
Yeah. So like 10 kids, and they originally we were like, they're going to do a bunch of like gardening and yard work for us, and then they just want to play with the kids. It's like the coolest thing. They just came a couple of weeks ago and they just play for like 2 hours with the kids.
Which is probably so like therapeutic for them as well.
Yes.
I mean, as you're describing your day, I'm not going to lie. I'm like, maybe I should just go hang out there for a little bit after work.
It's a pretty good time. We're just having fun all the time.
That's so cool.
It's so important because the kids can tell, you know, they're like, they can feel your vibe.
Yep. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's so special. So you mentioned your Earth Day festival, which, by the way, I saw some photos of. It just makes me think of like a movie. You know what I mean? Like when there's schools putting on this really cool, like, I don't know.
Let's do it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like Babysitter's Club style.
Well, and we really like hype it to the kids too. So they're like, 4 more sleeps.
Oh my gosh,
and
that's
then,
so
like, me
cool.
too. Like I started talking like preschool, 1 more sleep.
That is amazing. What other kinds of events do you do?
So we always throw a winter sing-along where the kids practice a bunch of songs and then they perform them. We rent out like Herzog Hall on the fairgrounds, and it's pretty cool. And then our pre-K graduation this year, we rented out the Polyclass Theater.
Beautiful.
Because we thought it'd be really fun for the kids to be on the stage and like, perform.
Wow.
But like throughout the school year, so anytime we can just like have a special day, we'll do it. So we do like a grandparents' day where they get to come and like eat cookies and play on the playground with their grandkids.
Cool.
I mean, we do a back to school barbecue where we just like make everybody food, and then the teachers serve the kids and their families so that like we can see them all because they're all new.
Yeah.
And then we just anytime we just all hang out and have a good time. Because it builds what we want is like community, right? So we want to know about these kids. We want to know about their lives. Like we want to meet their families. We want to know their siblings. Like we want it all.
Yeah.
And it really makes us feel like a big family because each class is really like their own little family.
That's what it sounds like you're describing as a big family.
Yeah. And we want like, you know, when someone gets hurt, like, or we've had like big injuries where someone like can't come to school because they're getting like a cast on, like, right? So we want to like make them pictures and like, you know, people are worried, like, you know, it's just, that's how I want my kids to grow up. And so that's how I want everyone else's kids to grow up is, you know, in this community feeling. It's really important to me. And I just try to carry that through in my school.
Yeah. They're learning how to treat other people too. It sounds
Absolutely.
Like.
Yeah.
So amazing. So how do you hope to continue making a difference in the lives of children in your community?
So I like to say that we're all always learning, right? So I am constantly learning new ideas, new approaches, and then so is my staff. We're always doing new trainings. And I think with that comes the responsibility of making sure that we're always, you know, providing like the most just rambling.
No, you are not actually. Yeah. No, like
Sorry,
the environment you're trying to kind of create, it sounds like it's like you're all are working towards that common goal is kind of the theme I'm getting from all of this, which is amazing.
Yeah. Yes. So we feel like our work is important. Like no one goes into teaching preschool for the money.
Right.
And no one goes into it thinking this is going to be easy.
Right.
Because you're doing a lot of caretaking and loving, and you're really being all of their parents when their parents are not there. And they're choosing to do this because they genuinely like are in it all the way and they love it.
That's so cool.
And so am I. So just continuing to carry that through and reflecting on, you know, to the kids.
Amazing. Like literally while you were saying all of that, I was thinking in my head, like not just your staff, but you must be so exhausted by the end of each day because you're giving so much of yourself and there's so much energy around you.
I mean, every teacher right now at the end of the school year is like, whoo, it's the end of the school year. But also, you know, it doesn't feel like work when you love it.
True.
And I can go home so exhausted at the end of the day, and I still love it so much.
That's so cool.
Because it's just such a special place, and you just know you're making a difference.
Yeah.
Sometimes when I look at the kids, you know, I'm like so thankful that they're at my school and I want all the kids. I like, sometimes, I'll have to tell parents, I don't have room. And I like bum out. I just want all the kids.
Right.
And I know that there's so many other magical preschools in town, and we're so lucky to have so many to choose from. So, I'll send them to go check out a different one. But I want them all.
Yeah.
I want every single kid.
Right.
I
You're
want
going to need to expand even bigger. I don't know how you would do that, though.
I just want every single kid.
Right.
And it's funny because I taught for many years before I was the director, and I still really miss teaching. I still get to teach, but in a not as, it's not my classroom. It's kind of like a guest star in it. But so a lot of times I'll be like just in my office and I'll be like, what's that? You guys need me out there? What? So I will just choose not to go onto my computer and do work, and I'll just be outside for 2 hours. And
they needed me.
You guys really needed me. Yeah. I'm like a kid that has homework, but I'm like, I don't want to do emails. I want to play with some snails.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I want to play with snails.
And maybe sometimes you need a nice pack and emotional one.
Right? Yes. Speaking of snails, though, that is also one of our events. We do annual snail racing.
Oh, what?
Pretty good
Stop.
time.
Who usually wins? Which kind of snail? You don't know.
They all kind of go different directions.
Okay.
But the action from watching them is pretty exciting. Everyone has to bring in snails for their homework, and then we dip them in non-toxic liquid watercolor.
Stop. That's so cool.
And then the race starts. We line them all up, and then it's kind of just a real slow.
I was going to say, I bet it's really active.
It is probably one of the most entertaining days.
That's so funny.
Yeah, and
I love
cool
that.
Tracks.
I'm going to have to come to this.
Play-based learning, right?
Will you invite me the next time you have your snail race?
Yes.
I would love to be there.
Your nephew would be like,
that's the thing is I'm like, special guest, Auntie Amy has arrived.
I love it.
Do I have to bring a snail, though?
You have to come with the headphones on because they're cool.
Oh, I could do that.
And
yeah, I could bring these. I don't know that I want to bring a snail. Like, do they bring it in a container? Or how does it? Okay.
They don't have to carry it in their hand.
Okay, just checking. Okay, so
We'll
I could
tell
put
you
it in a
when
container.
Snail Day is. Don't
Please
worry.
do.
Yeah.
I will be there. I kid you not.
That's another shout out to my teachers because I make them touch a lot of bugs.
Yeah,
it's
and
not
they're
all
okay
everyone's
with that.
favorite. I love insects myself.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, hey, you guys. I think I just texted recently, like, can you guys open up the box that got delivered from Amazon? It's 2,000 mealworms.
Oh, funny.
You got to get them out. Like I wasn't there that day.
Yeah.
They're like,
were they
okay.
like, oh my gosh?
I mean, they kind of know now. Oh, Miss Allison and her wild ideas.
She needs us to open up a giant box of bugs.
Yeah.
Totally normal.
Yeah. Or another text, guys, I grabbed the bees from my grandma. They're in the back seat.
Well, that's a good point. That's cool. So she brings her bees.
Well, this year I worked up. She let me take them myself. So
and let's do a shout out to your grandma. Can you tell everybody her bee farm?
Oh, my grandma is the bee queen.
She's the real celebrity.
Mrs. Peterson. She runs the 4-H program for beekeepers.
Very cool.
I think I don't know what 4-H it is, so I won't shout out the
Okay, but we can shout out to her.
Her whole job is educating people and children specifically on the benefits of these pollinators and why we need bees.
Right.
And then helping as many kids as she can become beekeepers.
Yeah, I love that. That is very cool.
Yeah.
I saw a post recently on Facebook where there was a hive in our neighborhood, and somebody's like, "What do I do with this?" And everyone was saying, "Call her," and tagging her.
So if you have a swarm,
call
that's
her.
who you call. She's on the swarm list.
That's so cool.
Yeah,
I love that.
Yes.
That's amazing. So, what do you love most about the work that you do?
Oh, it's not even work, Amy. It's
I
all
know.
play.
What do you love most about the play that you do?
As a play detective, I think, honestly, my favorite part about the job is I just have a real soft spot for those kids that kind of just need someone else to figure them out, right? So they maybe are just not, in that box. So we're really about thinking outside of the box. So what does this kid need, right? So behaviors, there's always a need behind it. And so my favorite thing really is kind of honing in on what they do need. Maybe they just need to hang out with a grown-up for 5 minutes by themselves. Maybe they need a string cheese. Maybe they need to be talked to in a different way, or, there's just so many different things you can do to help a child. And it's not really about changing the child. It's really about changing the environment to fit the child. And so I find myself feeling most rewarded from helping those kids, the ones that really maybe can't sit at a circle time or just need to be outside or moving. It's really special to me to be able to help those those ones. And they're kind of the kids that end up in my school, and I really love it.
They're drawn to you.
They can be themselves, and not every child can do every single thing. We don't want that anyways. So teachers have to be really creative and come up with different ways of learning.
Right.
Yeah, and so that's really special to me.
That probably comes as such a relief to the parents too, to know that you are looking at it from that lens and you're not expecting too much, or you're approaching the kids where they're at, essentially. Right.
I think sometimes what happens in any school setting is it's easy to kind of forget or glance over. But what they really need is, what is this child's individual needs? Like, let's focus on the whole child.
Yep.
And that looks different for each child.
Totally.
Yeah.
I think about my own kids and how different it is. Yeah.
Yeah. And then also, like,
and you have 60.
Each time you learn something from a child, like, they're teaching me, like, I'm becoming a different teacher each time I'm learning from them. And so you kind of put that in your teacher toolbox and you kind of save it for the next time a situation comes up where a different child is at your school and you're like, hey, let's try this way.
Great point.
Yeah. And I mean, we work with, like, behavior consultants too. And so, they're giving us tips and tricks, and shout out to Howard.
Yay,
He's
Howard.
our behavior consultant.
Awesome.
He's my, like, when I grow up, I want to be Howard. So,
wow. I love that. Yeah. That could be something that you do, at some point.
Yeah, maybe like down the line. I would really love it if like all schools were play-based and all, everyone was on board with positive discipline and,
Right.
I want them all to, find what's most important.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. So coming off of business a little, what are 3 fun facts about you, Alison?
My kids are probably hoping I don't say anything embarrassing. Well, I am also an avid beekeeper.
I love it.
I go to bees, but I got my own bees, and I really love them.
Do you keep them in your backyard?
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. I'm in Pen Grove, and I have, like, a little space for some bees and some chickens. And,
amazing.
Yeah. I love camping.
Do you?
Yeah.
Like tent camping?
Well, so we're working our way up.
Okay. I was going to say that sounds okay.
Then we bought, me and my friend bought a 90s, like, pop-up trailer.
Stop. That's so fun.
Where, like, nothing works, but it pops up, and that's cool.
You know what?
Yeah. So we're just kind of working our way up.
That is so cool. Oh, my gosh. I think I did know that about you. I did know you like to camp. Yeah.
Her name is Miss Daisy. She's adorable.
Oh, my God. I think I did know this. She needs, like, a couple ratchets to, like, hold her up a little bit when we pop her out, but she's still going strong. You know what? It's the heart in her.
It's the memories made. I don't know. Another fact. Oh, gosh. I didn't plan this part. I didn't do my homework.
No, that's okay. You can be off the
My brother is Sebastian.
Oh, another celebrity in the family.
I have 2 brothers. Sebastian is Sebastian St. James. He's really cool.
Yes, he's very cool.
Local musician.
Yes.
And he also performs at our school as a dad. So he is not Sebastian at our school. He is Amelia's dad. And it's kind of cool.
That's really cool.
She's the top dog. So,
yes. Oh my gosh, that's so cool to have your niece there
performs.
too.
Yeah, and then
and your other brother too.
My other brother. There's a fun fact. My son Marshall is named after my brother Marshall. So there's 2 Marshalls.
I was going to say,
which is funny.
You know what? I don't know.
It's confusing sometimes. Yeah. And it's kind of funny because
I don't think I ever connected that until you just said it. It took me a moment there.
I was just like, your name's really cool.
Wow.
Can I use it?
That's so awesome.
When
I never was Sebastian jealous about that,
did Marshall poop his pants?
Yeah, right. You're like, oh, there you go.
I'm such a preschool teacher. I'm talking about poop on a podcast.
You know what? That's what this is all about.
Am I the first guest to say poop?
Well, we've had some interesting ones lately. So I think you might be the first one to say poop, but you're not the most interesting
Mom.
comment.
Oh, good. Okay.
You're so funny. Okay, so wait though. So Marshall and Marshall, where was I going with that? I lost it, but I never connected the dots ever on that. So that is so funny.
Yeah.
But, was Sebastian jealous?
No, my brothers and I are all like best friends. He's the Godfather.
Okay, so he got the Godfather. He got the name.
Shouting out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. I love it.
Yeah.
That is
just really getting personal here.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Your family is amazing and so well known. Everyone in your family, so it's so cool.
We're busy.
You are busy people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We kind of just grew up that way. That's kind of just we thought that's how
everyone was.
Yeah. Isn't everyone doing?
Yeah. Right? 5,000 things at once?
Yeah.
No?
Now we know.
Yes, totally.
Cool.
That's awesome. So is there anyone that you would like to give a shout out to that's really helped you in your career?
Oh, man. I mean, I am like a constant learner, so I've learned so much from so many different people. My first directors at the school I worked at were super encouraging. Therese, when she hired me, gave me a shot, and she really believed in me. And then, I'm constantly just gaining, growth from these women that keep coming into my life.
Wow.
And so my directors, who were always so kind to me, and then actually Jody Matei worked at my school when I was just at my house. Wow. She was just like a little helper, and I was like, let's do this school, and she came over and like did the school with me. My mom came over. Everyone's just really helped me grow.
Wow, that is
real
so
shout
cool.
out might have to be my daughter.
I mean, she's a pretty cool kid.
She without her I wouldn't have started the school.
Good point.
From
isn't that interesting?
Comments that she might have said to me. Shout out to Izzy, I love you. Clean your room.
Clean your room. I love that. So where can people find you if they want to know more about your school, if they want to tour?
I was going to say, find us outside, because that's where we always are. So,
with a raincoat on.
Yeah. If you're trying to get a hold of me and you're like, geez, Alison is not emailing back, just know I'm probably playing with like worms or like holding a bunny.
Ooh, a bunny?
For real. Yeah, we got chickens at our school.
And a bunny? We have a bunny at home, so that's why you got me on bunny. Okay, sorry to interrupt there.
She's a show bunny. Yeah. She's a retired show bunny.
Oh, mine's not that fancy.
When you come for the snail day, you can see her.
Oh my gosh.
What's your bunny's name?
Well, Honeybun, we thought Honeybun was a girl. We found out later Honeybun was a boy, but he is quite cool for a bunny. He thinks he's a dog. He comes when he's called.
Stop
he does.
It.
Yeah,
is he free range?
Potty trained. Well, he's got a cage, but he'll spend hours outside while I'm at work, and then I just open the slider. I'm like, Honeybun, HB, come in, and he like hops his little way in. Yeah, he's so cute. So when he said bunny, you got me.
Though that you thought he was a girl and he's a boy. We
sure did.
Because I don't know how much time we have, but I have a great bunny story.
Oh, please share it. Yeah.
So a couple years ago, I was like, my kids need bunnies, and so I adopted two sisters. Sisters.
I think I know where this is
going. Had them in their little cage, and I went to go clean it. A couple months. We'd had them for a couple months, and I like opened their little. And there's like a nest. They were not sisters.
No, they were not.
There was a nest of bunnies.
Wow.
And then I quickly called my cousin Casey. She's like the bunny expert. I was like, what is going on? And she's like, so one of those is not a girl. So she said, remove them immediately because
they'll just keep going.
So guess what? Guess what happened 30 days later?
That's the thing. It's like 28 days or something.
She was already pregnant. So we ended up with, I think, 24 bunnies.
Oh my gosh.
Which were super fun to raise because they're so cute. And, until they got big and then we were like, But I started, once they were old enough to leave their mom, I started bringing them to school and it was so fun. We had like a bunny farm for a while.
That's so
I was joking, like, you get a bunny with every enrollment. Yeah, you get a bunny. A couple of the kids adopted them.
Did they really?
We finally adopted all the bunnies out. But I always joke now because I'm like, I think someone told me and I didn't listen. One bunny or two bunnies is one bunny too many or something.
Yes, I would have to agree with that.
So just always
have one. And then you're always playing it safe. Yeah, that's actually how we got our bunny because my friend's bunny had bunnies and then she had and then more bunnies.
It's no joke.
Yeah, it's no joke.
I mean, it was fun, but also like, whoa, that's a lot of bunnies.
That's a lot of bunnies. And they're so cute. And I remember being like, no, I just want to come see them and hold them. And then before you know it, I'm like taking it home and the kids are losing their minds with excitement. Yeah. No, he's a good bunny. So you got me on that. HB.
I love it.
And I give him a banana. He hops in for his banana.
Yeah, they're like, they kind of get to know after a while. Like,
yeah, he's very routine.
Yes.
He gets a treat at night. When my dog gets her treat at night, she gets like a biscuit at night, and HB knows, like, he will like go up to the front of the cage and be like, I know what time it is. Where's my treat? And so I give him a little treat too.
They love bananas too.
Oh, they sure do. Yeah. Like, I mean, he loves pretty much everything. Like Fiona brought home a bunch of kale from the school garden the other day, and he was munching on like crazy on that.
That's cute.
Yeah. So anyways, okay. So you're how do they find you? Off track. On bunnies.
Whoops. Okay. You can find us on Instagram, Facebook. We have a website.
Great.
You can email me.
But it might take a minute if you're playing with bugs.
Just if you emailed me and you're like, where's she at? You can email me again. I just like to tell parents that once you're in the school, I'm all about talking to you. But sometimes it's just like hard. I just like really want to hang out with the kids we have. They're just so much fun. So but yes.
I love that.
Call us. all the things. Yeah.
Amazing. Well,
Thanks.
you are like a huge staple in our community. Once again, I'm going to gain some celebrity status with my nephew by having you in here.
You can tell preschoolers you know me.
I am. I'm going to be like, I'm good friends with Alison Hill. She was on my podcast. I know. I had to really work hard to get her.
You actually have to say Miss Allison. They don't know.
Oh, okay. So I have to say Miss Allison.
You could drop the teachers' names. That'd be cool.
Okay. All right. Oh, would it be cooler than you? Like Miss
Yeah.
if I said Miss Lisa, that would be
Yeah, like, I mean, I'm
Okay.
cool, but like the teachers are like really cool.
Yeah, that makes sense. It fits. You're kind of like the principal.
Like I'm kind of saying like I saw Miss Shay this weekend, and they're like, what?
You got to hang out with Miss Shay.
Yeah,
All right,
yeah.
that's so cool.
I'll give you all the names so you
Please
can drop
do, so
them
I can
to
drop
your
them when needed
nephew.
and be
Yeah.
really extra cool.
Yes, I'll help you be cool.
And I am going to come to the snail race. So
but just so
let me
you
when
know,
it is.
teenagers, I'm
Not as cool.
Not as cool.
Not as cool.
Yeah.
I still think you're cool.
Like when my kids have their friends come over, they're like, do not show them your worms. And I'm like, dude, they're just so amazing. Did you see what they're doing?
that is so
Do
good.
not.
So what about the bees? Are you allowed to show the bees?
I mean, the bees are just looking out, but like
Okay.
the composting worms, I can like take the bin
Oh, yeah,
off,
and you're, like,
stir
excited.
it. I'm like, look it.
That's
they're
amazing.
reproducing. And then
And they're like,
my
dude,
daughter's like,
they're like,
oh
we're going to go
my
play at your
God.
house now.
I'm like, why don't you guys ever want friends over?
So good. I love
preschoolers,
it. But preschoolers, you got that down.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
so awesome.
Yes,
Well,
yeah.
thank you so
Yeah,
much for
thanks,
coming in
Amy.
today. Thank you for listening.
Thanks.
If you like what you hear, please be sure to like and subscribe, learn more about Sonoma County and all that we have to offer here.